Parliament's Committee on Water and Sanitation has raised some serious concerns about a growing trend of government officials accused of corruption and fraud resigning just to avoid disciplinary action.
Now, the committee says it's not acceptable for cases to be abandoned when officials step down. The committee is now pushing for changes to legislation to ensure disciplinary processes continue even after resignation. All right, let's have this conversation now with the Cape Town's chairperson for the Water and Sanitation Committee, should I say, is Leon Besson, who joins us now. Leon, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. I mean, let's just talk about this level of accountability effectively. This is something that has been in place for quite some time. If you had done wrong, but you resign, then you don't have to face disciplinary proceedings.
Yeah, that is a major concern for the Portfolio Committee. We had a discussion on Tuesday with the SIU and the Department of Water and Sanitation, and we have raised our concerns that this is the easy way out, just to resign and then the process stops. Therefore, we will be looking at seeing how we can change the legislation to make sure that the people that was doing the wrong things should be, the disciplinary hearing should be finalized. So we will also have a meeting with the Justice Department, with the department and the SIU to make sure that we get these cases to continue.
So what would you like to happen? Would it be a case of changing the legislation such that the person in question is not allowed now to resign, or even if they do resign, that they still face that disciplinary, and even if the disciplinary then is to have them removed from that position, what then?
Well, we will have to see what is the legal implications for us on this. But what we suggest is that the case then changes into a criminal case, and then we continue with a criminal case against a person like this. But we will have to see what legally is viable for us to do, but it is unacceptable as it continues at this moment.
Do you see any political will for this? Because it would require quite a few people actually rallying for it.
Yeah, I think there is political will for this. The minister also indicated that she will support such a move. It is important for us to make sure that legally we use a signed method of dealing with this issue, but we need to get these culprits that harm the economy of this country and the water sector to stand for what they've done wrong and go to jail if they need to go to jail.
Yeah, and I suppose then that would be the whole process, right, to find out all those aspects, but to ensure that accountability is still kept up in all of this as it continues to happen. Is there still hope for restoring integrity, especially in a department that, at least over the last year, if not longer, has faced so many crucial issues, and a lot of consumers and people saying, well, we would like to have our water and our sanitation done properly, and yet it isn't, over the last year at least?
Yeah, so I think there's two issues that we need to look at. There's a difference between people don't have water in municipalities, and that is a major concern for the department, but that is a local government issue where the department must make sure that we have sustainable bulk water in the country. We do have, but then when the reticulation comes after, for instance, Rand Water delivers water to Johannesburg Water, and that water, half of that water is lost via their reticulation system, that is a concern for us. I must say, with the new DG that has been appointed about 3 years ago, things have started to change within the department. We can see that in the financial year April 25 till March 26, final written warnings were given to 13 people, where it was 4 in the previous year, and dismissals has been taken place. So they are trying to clamp down, and they have changed the method of working within the department to make sure that we stop corruption within the department and save the money. I must also say that the SIU has done a lot of good work. If we look at the status of the cash that was that we got back, that was recovered, is in the region of nearly 600 million rand, and there's assets and cash to be recovered is another 250 million. So there is a lot of work being done by the SIU to assist the department. Contracts that was cancelled was 1.1 billion, and potential loss prevented was more than 700 million rand. So I think we are moving in the right direction, although the department should clamp up on the fruitless and wasteful expenditure within the department. But I think the department, according to the committee, is on the right track.
How much of that is really based off of a procurement process that maybe isn't working sufficiently? And allow me to go into a little bit of an extent with regards to this one, because the first part that I'm possibly concerned about is that municipalities buy from bulk water producers. From those bulk producers, they have to get it from government itself. So the stage of accountability for consumers is fairly unknown in some cases. And then two, perhaps tenders and those become quite a key factor, because you still have that water tank mafia, which is still something that a lot of people worry about. So is it a procurement process that needs to be fixed as well?
Yeah, I think it's on two, you have it in two parts. One is on the municipality. There is no jurisdiction for the Department of Water and Sanitation to interfere in local government. We can assist local government, but on that level, it seems that it is infrastructure. They don't spend money on infrastructure. If we look at Joburg Water, they just took away 4 billion rand of Joburg Water's money, and it was placed in the coffers of the metro. The funding of the infrastructure is a huge problem. And you are right, tendering is another problem. And then vandalism comes in when you've got the tanker mafia. You get your infrastructure vandalized so that the tankers must run. I think there we have started to take a very harsh steps that all tenders must now be stopped with private tankers, and the municipalities and even the department will assist with tankers to assist the people where there is a need for water. But we must get rid of this tanker mafia, because we believe that they are also in damaging our infrastructure and just to make a lot of money out of tankering.
Do you think your job as an oversight committee here basically has been as helpful in getting us to a better position for water and sanitation overall?
Yes, I think our intervention in Johannesburg is an example where, the Metro said that they never had, or they were not in a position of 1 billion rand of money. And after various meetings with them and even oversight at Joburg, meeting the council, we eventually established that we were 100% correct, that the Metro has taken away 4 billion from Joburg Water, and that creates a huge problem for Joburg. And so we can go to each and every municipality in this country where there are huge problems, is that it's the lack of infrastructure. We need now to get to a point where water and sanitation is ring-fenced, so that water cannot be utilized to pay salaries or buy vehicles or to cross-subsidize other entities within that municipality. So I think we are much nearer now. We also were very successful in the taking away of the equitable share of municipalities that owns our water boards. And that is something that this committee has driven for a very long time. It is unfair for the Treasury to pay out money to municipalities that owe water boards, and if water boards collapse, then it is a huge area of residents and towns that will not have water. So
Yeah.
it is in the interest of South Africa that municipalities pay water boards, and therefore we opted the option of touching on the equitable share and pay the water boards.
Okay. I know you've spoken a bit quite a lot about these actually already, but if you were to give me your top 3 reforms that still need to be implemented for water and sanitation as a department, what would those be?
So there is a new legislation before Parliament now, where we want to stringent the work that municipalities do, so that we can take away the water license of a municipality that does not perform and hand it over to an entity that can perform that water. Because at the end of the day, it is important for us to make sure that residents receive clean drinking water. That is one of the reforms that is on the table. Secondly, as I have mentioned now, is that water needs to be ring-fenced. And we must also make sure that the ring-fence money is utilized to pay for infrastructure. And we'll have to work more closely with COCTA to make sure that they also be harsh on municipalities that do not pay their water boards. It is important for us to make sure that our water boards currently in the country survive and that they get the money for water that they have delivered to municipalities.
All right. Leon, we'll certainly hold you to those, and we'll certainly see the progress in any of these as well over time. Leon Basson, thank you so much for the time.